Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, 1 Samuel chapter 31. If you'd like me to come speak at your church or if you have any questions, you can send me an email at godsohman@gmail.com, or you can just comment below and ask me a question. 1 Samuel 31, verse 1. The Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled before the Philistines, and fell down slain at Macgilboa. And the Philistines followed hard upon Saul and upon his sons. And the Philistines slew Jonathan and Adonab and Melchishua, Saul's sons. And if you look here on the map, you can see Saul here. And here's his three sons. They were from one woman. And it said before, Samuel told him that tomorrow you and your kids are going to die. And this is being fulfilled by that. And you can see over here one of his daughters, Michael, she actually married King David. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was sore wounded of the archers. Then Saul said to his armor-bearer, Draw thy sword, and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through, and abuse me. But his armor-bearer would not, for he was sore afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it. Now in a lot of cultures around the world, to die in battle is honorable and a good thing, but if you die by somebody that you feel is less than you, it's kind of a disgrace. So he asked his armor bearer to take me out, because I don't want those people to take me out. His armor bearer refused, so he ended up doing it himself. When the armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon a sword and died with him. So Saul died, and his three sons and his armor bearer, and all the men the same day together. Now it's possible the armor bearer also ended his life, because it was his job to protect Saul. Now Saul's dead. He's afraid he's gonna have repercussions when he gets back. And when the men of Israel that were on the other side of the valley, and they that were on the other side of Jordan, saw that the men of Israel fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they forsook the cities and fled, and the Philistines came and dwelt in them. And it came to pass on the morrow, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, that they found Saul, and his three sons fallen on the Mount of Goab. And they cut off his head, and they stripped off his armor, and sent him to the land of the Philistines round about, to publish it in the house of their idols, and among the people. So these people said, Hey, we have a king, we have his kids, let's go ahead and make a display of him to show you how strong we are, and how great our gods are. And they put his armor in the house of Ashereth, and they fashioned his body to the wall of Bethshan. And when the inhabitants of Jezreel heard that which the Philistines had done to Saul, all the valiant men arose and went at night and took the body of Saul and his body of his sons from the walls of Bethshan, and came to Jabesh and burnt them there. And they took their bones and burnt them under a tree in Jabesh, and fasted for 7 days. So the inhabitants of this area didn't like that Saul was being mistreated, or his kids. So they took some strong men, just in case anything happened, and they took him and his bodies. They burnt it, gave him a proper burial, and they took his bones and they buried him under a tree. Now if you look at 2 Samuel 1, there's a different story about this. And it said, Now it came to pass after the death of Saul, when David was returned for the slaughter of the Amalekites, and David had abode 2 days in Ziklag. And it came to pass the 3rd day, and behold, a man came out of the camp from Saul with his clothes rent, and earth upon his head. And so it was, when he came to David, that he fell to the earth and did oblation. And David said unto him, For whence comest thou? And he said unto him, Out of the camp of Israel, here I am escaped. And David said unto him, How went the matter? I pray thee, tell me. And he answered, that the people are fled from the battle, and many of the people also fallen dead, and Saul and Jonathan his sons are also dead. And David said to the young man that told him, How knowest thou that Saul and Jonathan his son be dead? And the young man told him, saying, As I happened by chance upon Mount Goab, behold, Saul leaned upon his spear, and lo, the chariots and horsemen followed hard after him. When he looked behind him, he saw me, and called unto me, and I answered, Here I am. And he said unto me, Who art thou? And I answered him, I am an Amalekite. And he said unto me again, Stand, I pray thee, upon me, and slay me, for anguish is come upon me, because my life is yet whole in me. And I stood upon him and slew him, because I was sure that he could not live after he was fallen. And I took the crown that was upon his head, and the bracelet that was on his arm, and I brought them hither to thy Lord. So the question is, how did King Saul die? Did he die by suicide, or was he killed by this Amalekite? Well, if you look all throughout the internet, there's Bible contradictions everywhere. There's different websites about the most damning Bible contradictions, the biggest contradiction of the Bible, how the Bible's wrong and not the Word of God. This website talks about 1,000 clear contradictions in the errors of the Bible contradictions. Like, here's one right here. It says, everything that lives and moves will be food for you. Just as I give you green plants, I give you everything. Genesis 9:3 saying you could eat anything that moves. Well, then you get to Leviticus, and it's like, well, hold on. You can only eat certain things. Only certain kind of fish, and only certain kind of animals. So which one's right? Can you eat everything? Or can you only eat certain things? It's not really a contradiction. God basically said, eat whatever you want. And then later, people basically said, okay, well, we're gonna make this better, and we're gonna tell you what you can and can't eat. That's not exactly what God said. Multiple times in the Bible, God told them they could eat whatever they wanted. This one talks about the contradictions of the death of King Saul. Did Saul really die? Who killed Saul? Saul of the Amalekites. And this is a book here called All That's Wrong with the Bible, Contradictions, Absurdities, and More. So the question remains, how did King Saul die? Did he die by suicide, or was he killed by the Amalekite? Well, it says here in 1 Samuel 31, 4-5, that he says that Saul took a sword and he fell upon it. And when his armor bearer saw this, that Saul was dead, he also took a sword and died upon it. So in Samuel 31, 4-5, it's saying that Saul fell upon a sword because he didn't want the Philistines to take him out. And then if you go to 2 Samuel 1, 8-10, this guy's saying, I stood upon him and slew him. Well, why would it say that? Well, he was probably lying, hoping for a reward. He knew that David didn't like Saul, so he thought, well, if I'm taking out David's enemy, I'm going to get a reward for David. And also, even if not, Saul was sick and he was hurting and he was difficult, so I put him out of his misery. That should be worth something. He was probably lying, hoping for a reward. If you look at Luke 19, it says, but his citizens hated him and sent a message after him, saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. In the beginning of life, Saul was very well loved. Everybody loved Saul. But later in life, nobody liked Saul that much, so they might have been happy that he was no longer king. Well, guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, you can send me an email or comment below. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click the bell, tell your friends about it. Feel free to share it on social media if you want your friends to see it. I'm going to put a couple links on the screen. The bottom right is going to be the 1 Samuel Bible study. The top left is going to be the Genesis Bible study. And then the bottom left is going to be a video YouTube thinks you're going to like. Usually it's a video before this. This is the last of the 1 Samuel Bible study. So starting next week, we're going to be doing the 2 Samuel Bible study. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.